Hi, I'm Jordan Mackey, and this is my Math Center video. For my Math Center, I decided to do a third grade lesson, and I can't remember the Common Core standard off the top of my head, but it's dealing with figuring out unknown whole numbers within multiplication. So it's just a good Math Center to have going over or multiplication facts. And so for that, for the center, I did like a weave plate center. And so the time of how long they'll be at the center would depend on if it's facts or a lesson that maybe is still new to them or they just learned it. It's going to take them a little bit longer at the Math Center. But if it's just a refresher and just an enrichment, then it shouldn't take as long. So the time that they'd be at the center definitely depends on how new or fresh the lesson is in their head. I think for maybe even the first time that you do this, you could do it all together as a class and then use this activity as a Math Center after that, just so that all the students know what they're doing and know how to do it the first time around. But so for this Math Center, the things that you would need to be prepared for it would be paper plates, a Sharpie or a marker to write on the plates, a hole puncher, and then any sort of string or yarn or anything like that. So what I did was, I have a couple different ones that I did, but so this is for the fives times table. So whatever number you're wanting them to use, you write in the middle. And then, like you can see the fives, I put more facts on than the sevens just because students are more familiar with fives, just because they do five skip counting a lot earlier than they would do seven. So it all depends on how many you want to put on there. So for the fives, I'll show you this one. So what you do is you just write the fives facts anywhere on the plate. So you jump around and write them anywhere you want. And again, you can put as many on there as you want. And then, so these will already be done and hole punched and at the Math Center for them. The other thing would be to already have the string or yarn cut for them, just because to know how long to make the string. And of course, the more facts there are, the longer the string has to be, so you can weave it through there. The other thing that would have to be at the stations are math fact worksheets, multiplication fact worksheets. And this is what you could use as your assessment tool to see if they're understanding the facts, if they're getting multiplications, times tables. So this one, for the sevens plate, I went up to 77. So that would be up to 7 times 11. So they would just have to fill in the product on here. Here's the one I did for the fives. That one went up to 15, again, just because I think 5 multiplication is a lot easier than 7 multiplication. So you can change it however you want to, which is awesome about this Math Center. So I'll go ahead and demonstrate it now. So here's the threes worksheet, because that's the one that I am going to demonstrate on. So they would first off fill out the worksheet. Okay, so this is what that looks like. And I went up to 10 for the threes just to give you the example one. So here's my threes plate, and here's my yarn that I have cut out already. So to begin this, what you would do is, since we're doing multiplying by threes, we are going to, or multiplying threes multiplications table. So the first thing we would do, since we're multiplying or doing multiples of 3, is find the 3. So right now it starts at the top. So the very first one, you're going to start in the back of the plate and pull it through just so that the yarn is then in the front of the plate. So when we do this, we're going to pull through almost, there we go, almost all of the yarn because we're going to use almost all of it. So we're just going to leave a little bit left. So after you do that, you would just go through your worksheet. So we know 3 times 1 is 3, so we found 3. 3 times 2 is 6. So next we would find 6 on the plate, which happens to be at the bottom now. So we take our yarn and going over through the front of it, otherwise we wouldn't be able to see what number we were putting it through. Put it through here and pull this until it's in a straight line. So then we'd find 9. Pull it through. So you continue to do this through all of the multiples. I think another reason why this would be a fun center is that there's so many different colored plates and yarns and strings that you can find that they'll feel like they're being able to individualize their plate while learning their math facts. But I think it's just a fun, unique way for them to be able to learn the lesson that you're teaching. And I like how flexible this could be, again, just based off of whatever number you're working on. If you're doing a specific number, you could do this as a whole class, and maybe once you know a few of the fact families, you could have a couple different paper plates out there with different numbers, just like this is, I have 3, 5, and 7, and they'll be able to do it on their own in the math centers. Another reason I really like this is because this is something that if you did it as a whole class, they'd be able to take it home and practice it and practice their math facts with it, just because, I mean, the yarn comes in big bundles and paper plates come in big bundles, so it's something that is inexpensive, but you also get a lot of uses out of it. So I think that being able to have them take at least a couple home to work on it, or they could even make them themselves at home if they wanted. So at the end, this is what it looks like. And so when you are making it, you hole punch however many facts it is that you want, and then just disperse where you want each number. And so it's just a plate weaving multiplication facts times table. So, and then again, you can take their worksheet that they worked on, and then that can be your assessment, see how they're doing with multiplication. So that is my math center. Thank you.